All right, so welcome back to part two with Alicia Love and Abby Gooch. Here we are for you to connect deeper with your intuition. And I know there's some more just amazing tools that Alicia has for us. So with that, Alicia, where would you like to take us on a journey? Just like a meditation right now, even like 5 or 10 minutes, to be like, oh yes, this is how intuition feels. This is how I can use it. And then I want to dive into your soul coaching program. So can you just take us on a little quick experiential journey together?
I would love to. Yeah. So I meditate with my eyes closed. Most people do, right? So go ahead and close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Slowly and fully breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Even breathe out with a little audible sigh, breathing in as if you're bringing in calming, quieting energy. And then release a little. Get a little sound out. And with each exhale, I like to imagine my shoulders relaxing a little more. Inhaling that calming energy. And exhaling, letting your forehead relax, your scalp can let go. Any part of your body that feels tension around your eyes or your jaw. When you put a tension on a body part, it softens. So anywhere you're feeling tension or fear, just breathe in that calm and relax into that sensation of letting go. So I would like for you to imagine with your mind's eye that you're standing under a waterfall of light, sparkling, shimmery, luminant light pouring down into the top of your head and washing over you, cleaning you of any darkness or shadow aspects or things that are limiting you from being your true authentic self. And as that waterfall goes down, relaxing you and washing you clean, it sparkles you, it shines you as if you are now lit from the inside, it's pouring into you. Just imagine that light. Continue to follow the breath as you feel it, air entering your chest, that rise and fall. And now feeling into your heart center, a place you can trust, that center of love within your being, where your soul is guided from. Imagine the light growing in your chest, expanding, filling you, and radiating out the love you have inside, your ability to trust your own intuition, trust your own heart. And I'll have you imagine the most beloved human or animal that you feel most connected to and most in love with. Sometimes it's easier to think of a pet because we don't have baggage, but when you feel that love for that person or that animal, feel how it opens your chest, increases and expands that light, that sensation of love, that warmth. that's that yes inside your body. When you can imagine someone you know for sure that you love and trust, and you feel that expansiveness, that is your yes. And now, just for the experiment of the sensation, I want you to imagine saying, I hate that person, or I hate that animal, I hate that beloved thing of mine, person or place. And I feel like dropping an untruth in my body, like, no, that's not true. It's a heaviness. You might have a prickly sensation. You might feel like a churning in your belly. But tapping into what a true no feels like is so important for our intuitive guidance. So now bringing the energy back up, taking a deep breath and letting your chest expand, feeling the love, feeling the joy, imagining a summer sunny day out by the river, the sunshine glistening off the water, the breeze going through your hair, the warmth on your skin. These are the sensations of authentic truth and love in the world. And then roll your shoulders, coming back into your body, just having gratitude for your body's wisdom, teaching you and showing you. There's so many ways to meditate, and guided meditation where you're guided to feel or sense or see is just one of the many ways that you can drop down into that centered awareness.
Just so beautiful. I literally saw sparks of light flying off the screen when you started. I was like, oh, I'm in bliss with Alicia. It's just so awesome. Just thank you. Just so calming. And this is why I said go to her meditation thing with insight time, because it's just such a gift and the calming effect of that. So you've just been so generous in sharing, how we can connect. I know there's an amazing coaching program called your Soul Coaching Program that you take people on for their journey in the moment, and also to practically apply it, right? So to feel the connection and then to live it in day-to-day life through decisions, through starting businesses, through having amazing relationships. Some of that work I've done with you. And so I would love for you to share about your Soul Coaching Program. And also, before I forget, the ways in which you have followed your intuition practically to now have the results you have, right? Because I'm all about tangible, real world results,
Absolutely. Yes. Follow the flow. And that's where my intuition guides me. And people ask me questions. I've got do I do this or do I do that? And I'm always feeling that pull, that yes. And I have made so many changes in my life. I have been married and divorced, and I have a son, and I have made big career shifts. And every single time I was following the flow, was trusting intuition and trusting divine timing, trusting that the right thing will open up at the right time when I'm ready. And so, if you want to be ready for that next best thing for your life to shift, doing a program like the one that I offer, Soul Coaching, in either 28 days, if you're just rearing to go to make a big shift, or my new program that will start in the fall, actually on the autumn equinox, for a 6-month intensive where you can really dive deep and make big, long-lasting changes for your life. And we do that through going through the connection to spirit, feeling guided, and connecting to the elements, starting with air and all of our mental attachments, thinking about belief systems and the way we were raised to have, it's just, there's so much mental clutter in our lives. society, the way we're told to do this, and that's the right thing, and you should do that. So instead of following all of those shoulds that we hear from all around, right, our parents, and the way we should go to college and do specific things for our education, all of it, that's that mental clearing, and shifting belief systems and changing our language is a big part of my program. So I take that word should out of my vocabulary completely. I catch myself if I do use that word, and I shift it. And one of the exercises in the program is to transform your language from using the word should into using the word could. And how that works is when you say, I should get this in the mail today, something really simple and basic. We're not going to go for like a major, huge life example right now.
Yeah.
Just like keep it simple. Like, I need to get this letter out in the mail. I should get it out today. Well, why should you? You could get it out today if you aligned your day to get to the mailbox or however. And you can choose not to do that. But that's the big thing about life, is that everything is about choice. And we were talking about fear earlier. People don't know that they have a choice. They're afraid to step into what feels good, what they can trust and know is right for them, because they're being told they should be doing something else. And if you say, I could do that, but I'm going to choose to do this, you empower yourself. You step forward from your own inner guidance. And then the more you do that, it's like practice, the more you are led. So the air element represents the mind, and we go through beliefs and thoughts about what we should do. The water element represents emotions, and recognizing that we are not our emotions, right? You can actually look at, from the outside, all the different aspects of yourself. You're not only your emotions. So there's lots of exercises around that. And then Fire Week, if it's going to be the 6-month program, it'll be a whole month or more, 7 weeks of doing spirit-led exercises, focusing on the spirit within, the light within. And there comes shadow work with that, right? The things that we're afraid of come up in that. A lot of us are afraid to die. There's like, what's the worst that could happen? Yes, this could be the end. But until that time, letting fear and the shadow aspect of our lives control us is not what we want. So there's a lot of empowering exercises that go along with that. And I always end with earth element, to ground and bring all of that together, kind of weaving it together to give a stable, how to move forward kind of lifestyle choices. And it could be physical things. I've done health coaching for many years too. So I love helping people make those changes that are long lasting, helpful, and transform your life, right? It could be in making the right choice for a relationship, or I've had clients that called me up and were like, I want this other job, help me be not so nervous, and how do we do this? And a lot of it's self-love, self-worth, and it's just so exciting for me to see people grow and make amazing changes in their lives. I've got a client that's just like the most improved person I've ever met, and it was because we did the work that we did for years together that made such a difference. So it's possible, and anybody can do it. Excuse me.
Well, it's really about changing from the inside out and shifting the energy. And I was just reflecting on some of the work you and I have done together, you as one of my coaches, and just the love and the vibrational shift that happens, and then the results follow. So to me, intuition is a way to start shifting those internal things, like you're using some language, pattern changing that way, also the meditations, just to know it's all energy. And as the energy shifts, like I'm literally watching the trees around my house right now, there's a quality of energy of just gentleness and kindness, like coming through the trees. And I'm receptive to that now because my vibration shifted with you, right? So just to notice that it's a dance, right? It's a dance with life.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, so let's see, what else did I want to cover? Soul coaching, good versus should, that's fun. Insight timer, let's see, is there anything else as far as, practically applying your intuition? So ways that, you've followed your intuition and what you've seen as results, right? Like, I know you have a great business, your amazing son and relationship, but just some like, maybe step-by-step, like ways you saw that happen. Like I did this and this as I followed my intuition and here's what happened, you know?
I really do say because of meditating regularly. And I do lead people to my website for a 10-day free, meditation challenge, because if you can change those neural pathways by sequencing through multiple days in a row of an exercise, like any kind of meditation, really, it's mindfulness and centered awareness that really guides me in everything that I do. So I think that that's my number one tip is meditate daily. And I tell people all the time, that's really, if you can ground in, you will have that clarity and be able to hear those messages of intuition and guidance and how to choose and how to know when something's right for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're offered so many things in this society, right? The world is full of so many opportunities. And how to know whether to take a trip, take a course, what to do next. It's really about calming and centering and going within to feel that really calm. We all have it and it's always there. That calm, centered place is where I make all of my decisions from. And the easier it is to tap into that for me was through meditation, just sitting with that place within, calming it, getting familiar with it, learning about it, and that's within all of us.
I love it. I love that you just reminded me that intuition is a very calm centered place, right? So when it feels right, it's calm and easy. It's not the anxiety ridden, the confusion, the I'm not sure. It's a certainty. That's how I used to describe it, a certainty and a knowing that there is no question. And if there's question, doubt, maybe back away, there's probably a reason. But when your intuition knows that it knows that it knows, like even right now, I can take this moment. I know that I wanted to connect with Alicia, period. There was no doubt. And I think you said the same thing. You're like, absolutely, right? No doubt. So everybody can think of a decision right now in this moment where you've said, yes, no doubt. That's your intuition.
Yes.
Contrast, think about something, maybe not, I'm not sure, it feels a little weird, right? Whatever that is, that's your intuition saying no.
Right.
So really simple, let it be simple.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you have clarity, it feels simple. It feels easy. And the divine, the spirit flow works like that. Like when you're in the middle of a river floating on an inner tube down the river, it's easy. You're in flow. You know where the river's going. You can And when things are like, whoa, this is choppy, this is scary, I'm feeling like I'm bumping up against stuff, like calm and center. Get back into the center of the river. Get back into that flow. Yeah.
And the love. I actually heard the love. Like get back into the center, get back into the love.
That's where it is.
Knowing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And to be sensitive to what's around you, right? Like if you're in the river, notice there's other like it's a wave, it's a current, right? So you're in flow with everything else at the same time.
Yeah, if you feel like you're going upstream, if you're fighting the current, if you're struggling, that is not the flow. There's definitely challenges in life, and we have to be faced with those to learn and grow, but it shouldn't be exhausting and terrible. It should, like when you turn towards what is easy and what is good and follow your intuition, you'll feel the flow.
Yeah, you'll learn what you need to along the way. I love that. Is there anything else that you want to share at all, Alicia? I'd love to always ask, like, I was going to say trademark, but like a footprint, like what people can remember you by, like the way you want to just have people remember you.
Oh, it's always love. People ask me, what's your word? It's love. think if everybody tapped into love, like what problems would we have in the world? I mean, come on, let's be kind and loving, and that's what I strive for. And it certainly comes through with my clients. Definitely. A lot of times people will see me or they'll be in my presence and the energy of me. And it's like, it's uplifting, and everybody loves to be loved. So it's good to see that reflected back. And that's the big thing. I'm a mirror of love, I think, more than anything.
Totally. What's your website again, Alicia Love? What's your website?
mindfulspiritcoaching.com.
Wow, I invite you all to check her out. She's amazing, clearly. And we have a few more minutes. Is there anything else that you want to tell our listeners? Any other tips around intuition? And again, I still didn't hear how you practically applied your intuition. I already know it, but like with your relationship and your business, like I guess I just know you, it's assumed, but if you want to share with listeners like the ways that you've seen that manifest.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, one of the ways, when I left being a wellness coach and working in retail for that, I was actually doing my own program, doing a 28-day program, which is originally Denise Linn wrote the book, 28 Days of Soul Coaching. But I was doing the program and I was focused, my intention on this job that I wanted with Gaia Herbs. And I still work with Gaia Herbs. It's my favorite herbal supplement company in the world. They are globally connected to small farms, and they have their own farm in North Carolina. I mean, it's just a beautiful, organic, and really potent, #1 selling herbal company in America. And I wanted that job. I wanted to work with them. I had been to their farm and I had seen the magic and the love that they put into their products, and I wanted to be a part of that. So at the beginning of the program, it was funny how I knew that once a year I needed to do this soul renewal, and I do my own program every year. And right now I'm in a group coaching program with almost 20 people, and I'm doing it right along with them because it's so valuable. I get something out of it every time. By the third week of that 28 weeks, I had gotten that job, and it was really trusting that I deserved it because I knew that I felt that connection to the company, that I would do really great work with this company, that the company would nourish me, and that it would be a really beautiful reciprocal kind of relationship. And I remember really clearly feeling like, I know I'm going to get this job. And it helped with the anxiety. It helped with, stress of worry of like, oh, I didn't hear back for 5 or 6 days, after that second interview. and then at that point, it's just breathing into, it's okay either way, right? As much as we really, 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 really want something, I got to a place where I was like, well, if it's not in flow to be working with them, then the next right thing will be shown. I will be guided. And I, that time, got that job, and it was wonderful. And I had another moment where I had to shift working with them, and now I work for myself and I broker for them, right? So I'm actually completely on my own as far as owning my own businesses. And I still am a representative for them, just not employed by them. It's a
so cool
contract, right? So, and that shift was like, okay, I just have to trust that this is going to be okay, because everything was up in the air. My relationship was really freaked out about it. My partner was like super freaked out, and I had been shown these signs all along. Like I had bought a special candle off of a website that I was like, I don't know why I need this candle. Like, why am I spending so much money on this candle? It's a black candle. I would never burn a black candle. But I felt like I needed this candle. And it sat on my altar by my bedside and unlit for a month before the day I found out that I had to pivot from being employed, having insurance, and doing like everything so methodically their way, to setting everything up as my own independent company and saving my own taxes and having my own everything. That was the day I lit that candle, because the candle represented the goddess Hecate, who shows you the way at the crossroads. And I was definitely at a crossroads, and amazing that my intuition had shown me a whole month before. And it became a ritual practice of meditating with that candle, asking to be shown guidance. How was I going to move forward? I ended up leaving that relationship because he couldn't support me through that transition, just be stable on his own, right? It freaked him out to be me, not employed by someone else, like, but on my own in my own business. And that whole process showed me that I have it in me. I am guided, and then it works out. It's been a wonderful. I'm in my third year of business now with them in that situation, and it's been so wonderful to feel that trust and guidance in my own abilities. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I love that. I always wondered how you got involved with him. I knew there was a cool story. You never
Right?
told me
Yeah.
that.
And it's cooler when you ask it the way you asked it. So thank you for really, you're like, come on, there's something there. You can tell me.
Totally, totally.
Yes.
And also like your relationship. So like I know currently you're in an amazing partnership. So like how that is spirit guided as well. Because I know you let go of a lot right before that. I just know that as your friend. And so sometimes I feel like you said with this job, you let go of that relationship and it played into this new job. But currently, what did you let go of to now have this loving relationship that you have? You know, and I know even stuff with your son, right? Like you've just been through a lot.
Right. I have been through a lot. It's true. It comes with a lot of wisdom, but it was definitely a path of stress and challenge. Um, so my partner and I met through our community, which is wonderful. We sing devotional songs together, and we actually just met somebody the other day that had like brought him to that gathering that I was at where we met, and we're like, oh, we have all these mutual friends, but we'd never met before. And at that point, both of us had wanted open relationship. We were both like, we're just dating. I'm not looking for long-term anything right now. Like let's just stay in our heart center and do what's true right now. And for me, that was, I had multiple friends I was hanging out with and didn't want to limit those sorts of different kinds of interactions. And it just grew to be such a trusting relationship that we wanted to spend more time together. There was so much love from the beginning. And I would say our best like relationship key is communication, and not just like the skillful communication that we've both studied over many years, but kindness is so simple. If you start to get frustrated with someone, do you want to either be a recipient of that, or put it on someone? Like that frustration or that anger. And I mean, it's in our society, right? There's so much of blowing up at each other and blame and shame, and to do that in relationship is really detrimental. It hurts us, it hurts each other. So one of the things I have to say about my partner is that he is always so kind with his communication, and both of us have learned this level of patience to hold on to, process, speak about it with other people, not directly attack each other if there's something that we need to say that's difficult or challenging, but to be able to just choose love and choose kindness in our communication. It's the way I try to parent. It's how it's hard. I've got a 12-year-old boy, and tough love is a thing. You have to have boundaries, you have to be firm, but you can be kind when you do that, right? I don't want to scare my son and be like super mad and mean it. But there are things that frustrate the crap out of me, and it's so hard. Like I am human like everybody else, and it's not love and light all the time. Sometimes you get really frustrated, but to not explode that at the people that you love has just been this commitment of love that I've been able to hold now for a number of years, that I'm like, oh wow, I haven't blown up at anybody or gotten really mad and had a fight with anybody in many years, because I just have devoted myself to choosing respectful kindness and loving communication. And my favorite book to recommend is called Nonviolent Communication. And it teaches you how to communicate your feelings instead of in a way that's not blaming, because we want to be authentic and truthful about how we feel, right? If I feel sad, if something that he did makes me feel sad, I can say in sort of a nonviolent communication language format, when you did that, it made me sad. And I wonder if you would be willing to not do it that way again, but do it, make a different choice that we both would be happy with. Because there's also that thing in relationship that people talk about, compromise. And it's like nobody gets their way if you both meet in the middle. But and again, back to choice, there's always so many options that we don't even think about because we're so conditioned and programmed. Don Miguel Ruiz, an author of The Four Agreements, would say we're domesticated. We domesticate our children. It's just like you put a pet, like you teach them, like, these are the boundaries, these are the rules, you can't go outside the box. But actually you can. And we see that because cultures are so different around the world. And even within our own culture here, we have choice, right? And you can step outside of the norm and choose love and choose happiness and choose to follow that intuitive guidance to what will truly nourish your soul.
I love that. So beautiful. Okay, one more example on being intuitively guided. You did career, relationship, and then last one's health. So like as you followed your intuition, how was your health, your body overall, like happiness improved? Because you are one of the people that's the most radiant, right? And it's from the inside out. So how were you guided? And I feel there's been some kind of physical transformation you've had as well, where you were able to use your intuition to heal and move to that new level of vibrance and radiance.
Absolutely. Don't ignore things that come into your world, especially 2 or 3 times, right? If you notice something over a few days or a week or something, we're like, wow, you're the 3rd person to say that. I'd never done a juice fast before, and this was over 15 years ago. I had studied herbal medicine, but I'd been a vegetarian. Like childhood, kind of like my parents raised me. From 12 on, I was devoted to being a vegetarian. And it wasn't actually the healthiest lifestyle choice for me. I wasn't getting enough protein. I wasn't balancing my diet properly, but I was really passionate about not harming animals. And I was really even more so passionate about the earth and the impact there. And where I was raised, I actually lived in Florida and Georgia before I moved to the West Coast. There was not good, sustainable farming, small family farms. It was massive, gross, like I don't eat that kind of meat.
Yeah.
And I was devoted to not doing that. Well, going through school and being a vegetarian, I found myself to be quite deficient in a lot of different things. And so when I learned more about juice fasting, I was like, okay, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to find out what is bothering my body, what's good for me, what's not good for me. And I felt a craving for meat. I was like, okay, I really am going to need to eat meat, even though I really hate the idea. I'm going to have to figure this out.
Yeah.
It was a good journey. That was probably a year process of like eating a couple bites of meat and being like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm eating meat. It's like, it was so challenging. And then when I did the juice fasting, I found that gluten was inflammatory for my body. I got stabbing pains when I ate it again. 6 years after that, I found dairy was so congesting, it was causing chronic candida for me. Like the health things, everybody usually has their own health story and their health journey. And a lot of times it's the universe that told me through messages of people saying like, oh, dairy does this to me, and dairy does that to me. And that's, it's like, finally I started to weave those things together and be like, oh, that's not good for me either. That's not what I want my body to feel like. And now I'm devoted gluten-free, dairy-free. And I do eat meat, but I only eat it from sustainable local farms. I try to eat local and organic as much as possible, but I'm actually doing a cleanse right now where I'm also not doing sugar or alcohol or corn and eggs. I'm taking a few extra things out just because it's possible to develop new allergies. It's also possible that, some things aren't quite as good for me as others. And my best tool for that is to eliminate it and then add it back in and listen to my body, like really tuning in to what makes me feel good. And a lot of times I notice in the morning, if I wake up with energy, because I've gotten enough sleep and I'm eating well, I feel amazing, and it shows in my skin, it shows in my energy level throughout the day. And definitely listen to their intuition to feel guided or what to eat. And we just went through this time of isolation with COVID-19, and it was difficult for everybody, right? Nobody got through that one easily, including myself. I ate potato chips and I drank more alcohol than I normally do, and I gained a little bit of weight. And it's like, okay, at some point my body was like, this doesn't feel good. And you just gotta listen, And so now I'm taking, not only, I was walking regularly, but now I'm back to running, and now I'm working out and doing more dance and just doing the things that make me feel more alive. And by focusing on diet and exercise in those ways, I just feel so much better.
Do what makes you feel alive. I love that. That's great.
Alive.
It's great. Life-giving, for sure. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Alicia Love. I just love you. And yeah, thank you everybody for being here. Alicia, is there anything else you want to say to the audience before we log off today?
Love you. I want everyone to feel that love. I want them to know that they're loved. If they don't hear it enough, if they don't know it for truth, I want that message to be clear. I love you.
We love you too.
Abby. I love all of your listeners. I love the whole world. It's such a good place if we really look for the love and share it and spread it.
Awesome. Thank you, sister. All right. Love you. We'll see everybody soon. Bye.
Bye.